raining. No. So as you guys just seen, I popped on my audiobook. I'm getting ready to head to work. I'm running very late this morning because I just had to do everything. It's raining, had to clean the dog's paws off, had to do so many things I feel like, but hopefully I get calmed down with my audiobook. So let's enjoy the commute and listen to our audiobook. It's gloomy. Ugh. Okay, it's pretty dark at work right now, but I had to get on here and talk about this book, The Gift, that I'm reading. Not reading, but listening to. I have to get out of doing that because I am listening to audiobooks. So I'm listening to a book called The Gift by an author, Frieda McFadden. And she's one of my favorite book authors. And so this is a holiday book, believe it or not, and it is a thriller. So it is doing something for me. I am so excited to be listening to this book. So I got some in, y'all. All right, so let's just discuss a little bit of it. Oh, well, yeah, this is where okay, so we're going in. So if you have not read it or listened to it, just don't bother right now, okay? So I've been able to listen to a few pieces of the audiobook currently right now on my way to work, just that fast. This is a very short read or listen, so this is really good as well. So our main character, Stella, is broke, y'all. Broke around the holiday times. Oh my goodness, like that is devastating. That's why I'm at work right now, okay? I would rather stay at home, but I'm at work right now. So our main character, Stella, she works for a restaurant in Brooklyn called Stevie's. And Stevie's is a grimy, like little cafe or restaurant or whatever that she works at. And she works the night shift. And she works with a lady named Betsy. Betsy is an older woman who works with her. And yeah. So I'm getting into it right now. They are closing the restaurant, and I guess the last customer is leaving, and Stella is just complaining about how she wished that she worked at a decent restaurant where people came in, because it's Christmas Eve as well. She's working Christmas Eve. So she wishes that she was working at a respectable restaurant where people came in on Christmas Eve and left good tips. She said they leave her change and nothing else. She said she's ready for the last guy to leave so they can just shut down. But this book is getting good. So also really quickly, she said that she received a text from her fiance. So this is their first year together, their first Christmas together. And he wants them to exchange gifts on midnight. Stella says she cannot afford a gift. She said she has always bought gifts from dollar store for her mother and father. She doesn't have it. So I'm interested to see what goes down, y'all. So I'm getting into it. So I will be back with more. Yeah. Okay, so I'm trying not to be super close to the camera. I have this odd thing with being super close to the camera, and I'm trying not to be. But I wanted to get back on here and finish where I left off. So Stella has very long corn silk hair, and she says this is one of the things that people, she believes, thinks that she's beautiful because of her corn silk hair. She says she doesn't believe she's beautiful. She says that she has eyes that are separated and she just doesn't feel like that she's beautiful. She also stated that she will skimp on anything except for her hair. She said she gets it trimmed and that's it. She doesn't do anything else to it, but she says she will skimp on eating. I don't know if I do that. Like, I really care about my hair, but I'm not passing out on the floor because I need to take care of my hair. Like, we're gonna figure it out, okay? But anywho, she also says that she worked 2 jobs. So 2 jobs, one there at the diner and then also one as a preschool teacher. And she has a degree in early childhood. So she is definitely making good of her degree. She said if she had it her way, she would have majored in not being broke. I agree with you because if I had it my way, that would be my degree and that's what I would have majored in, how not to be broke, because y'all, it's hard out here. Okay, so that's it for right now, but I'm curious to see why she has to work 2 jobs. There are 2 people in the household. Like, this is going to be very interesting. So stay tuned. Okay, so I know it's several days after. Well, let me not say several days. There's been many days after I've recorded some video for this book, but life has been happening. So let's just get right into it. Hope you guys have had a great Christmas. Great, perfect. So let's get back into this book, The Gift. I've had so much fun just listening to this book, and when I tell you, it was short and to the point. It was short and to the point. So there were so many things that I wanted to find out. I think I referenced Stella's husband and I called him her fiance, but that's her husband. So, well, Stella's husband, Justin, they've only been married for a year and they're celebrating their first Christmas. So Stella doesn't have too much money. She has 2 jobs, really are not paying the bill, well, barely paying the bills. So she doesn't have any extra to do anything. And Justin, he's going through law school. We find out. I thought he was a teacher or something like leading up to, but finds out he's going to school to become a lawyer. And he did have a job. It was that Justin's job was getting in the way of his studies. So he couldn't keep the job so he could focus more on his studies. So Stella's excited to exchange gifts, but she has nothing. She has no money to buy anything. She's used to buying gifts from a dollar store. And that's what she'll get her mom. That's what she'll get her dad, a gift from the dollar store. So she doesn't have the cash to be able to do it. And but she wants to because it's the first Christmas. So she feels like because he's so excited, he has her something that's like spectacular or huge. So she wants to go there too with her gift. She received that text. I think this is where I left off at. And then they come across this woman and who's been in the restaurant. Neither one of her or her other colleague that she's working with, should I call her a colleague? Yeah, they work together. They've not noticed this woman. So this woman has been sitting in a corner, sleep, I guess, I'm thinking. And so Stella goes to wake the woman, and the woman does not budge. So automatically she's thinking, we have a dead person on our hand. Like, this woman is dead in our restaurant. She's not waking up. So Stella tries and tries, and then finally the woman wakes up. And she states to her, like, I'm not dead. I'm, actually alive. So they let her know we're closing and, everyone has to go. So the woman says, I can help you with a gift. So because I know that since she wasn't truly dead, she might have been just playing it off or asleep and basically heard their whole conversation, Stella's and the other lady's conversation in the restaurant. She said, I can help you with your gift struggles. I own a antique shop. Stella's like, but I don't have any money. The woman said, well, I'll have something there that you can afford. So this is very enticing to Stella. She's considering this. The woman leaves and she says, well, come with me to my shop or come to my shop and I will help you find something for your husband. This is your first Christmas, whatever. So Stella's thinking about it and the woman leaves. And Stella's colleague, she's telling her, don't do it. Absolutely don't do it. So Stella's colleague says to her, look, don't fall into this woman's trap. Go home, forget about it. He'll be happy with whatever you get him, or if you don't have anything, he'll be understanding. So Stella leaves and she's thinking about what she can get him. So I like this angle a lot better. So Stella gets to the antique shop, and at the antique shop, she meets up with the lady, Helga. Helga is the owner of the antique shop. She's the woman who was sleeping in the restaurant. So Stella gets there and Helga is showing her all these things. A magical monkey paw, a pony. Stella states, no, my husband is not interested in a toy pony. And Helga's like, well, I don't judge. People come in here, men come in here all the time for Pinkie Pie, toys, ponies, and I sell them whatever they want. I don't judge. And so she comes across this pocket watch chain. So Stella's like, perfect. Oh my goodness, I love this. And so Helga's like, well, what do you have to exchange for this pocket watch chain? And Stella's like, I don't have anything. I don't have any money. I'm broke, basically. And she's like, oh, well, wait a minute. I have this necklace. I have a necklace that I can exchange for the pocket watch chain. So Stella takes off her necklace and hands it to Helga. Helga's like, oh, okay. Well, let me examine it. So Helga begins to examine it and she says, well, I can give you $1 for it. And Stella's like, oh, $1? And then Helga, you can't really afford this. The chain is cheap. Stella had received the necklace as a gift from her uncle and aunt for a graduation gift, and it's worth nothing. But I guess it's like the sentimental value behind it. Anywho, the chain is not worth anything. So Helga's, okay, do you have anything else? Stella's like, I don't have anything else. I'm broke. And so Helga, you do have something. You have a beautiful hair, and I make wigs. So how about you exchanging your hair for this pocket watch chain? And Stella's just like, oh no, immediately no. Because we know we discussed this at the beginning. Stella is very obsessed with her hair and she's not giving it up by no means. And Helga is pursuing this hair like hardcore. And I'm wondering why she's going so hard about the hair. But she's going hardcore with the hair and she's like, this is your first Christmas. You don't want to not come with the gift. So basically, Stella, she gives in. Helga brings her back to a back room and begins to cut her hair. And when I say cut her hair, not cutting her hair with scissors, but buzz sawing her hair off with clippers, like trimmers, like cutting her hair off. And this woman has arthritis, as explained by Stella. And Stella is terrified at this point because she hears the buzz saw of the clippers going through her hair, and it's not like scissors cutting her hair off. And Stella's thinking like, oh my goodness, I should have did this a long time ago. It's so freeing to have like short hair. I'm thinking like pixie cut, something cute, freeing, you know. I've had my hair for so long and it's time for a change. So Helga is very excited about the work that she's done. She hands Stella a mirror and she's like, well, take a look at my fancy work. I did a pretty good job. And Stella's like, oh my goodness, what did I do? And I'm thinking at this point, she probably could have passed out. I know I would have passed out on the floor. First of all, I wouldn't have let an elderly woman cut my hair like that. It wouldn't happen. And anywho, I digress. Cut all of her hair off. So she's like petrified, like, oh my goodness, I have to come home like this. So Helga was saying to her, oh, it's going to be great. You sacrificed. It's going to be a great gift. It's your first Christmas. It's going to be great. So Stella's like, yeah, well, I guess you're right. And the damage has been done. So she just proceeds to go home. She gets to her apartment. She notices as soon as she comes in, you know, her husband is greeting her and things like that. It's great. And she notices there's a suitcase at the front door, like by the door. So Stella immediately thinks, oh, wow, he's going to take me on vacation. This is perfect. This is a great gift. And she's probably thinking like, oh, well, you know, I sacrificed my hair. This is great. She's thinking like, oh my goodness, this is great. And she sacrificed her hair. So it's like, oh my God, that's perfect. You know, I did this. So I'm feeling really good about it now. I'm feeling really good. I'm assuming this is what she thought. It didn't say that in the book, but I'm assuming this is what she was thinking. So she's so excited. The husband's trying to hug her. She's like, oh, no. He's trying to take off her hat and her coat and everything. She's like, oh, no, because she knows what she's done, right? And so that she's like, we need to exchange gifts, like ASAP. We need to exchange gifts now. It's Christmas. We need to exchange gifts. And he's thinking, okay, since you want to exchange gifts, I guess we will. And they exchange gifts. Stella gives her gifts first. And the husband's just like, oh, well, what's this? Like, he's oblivious. He has no idea of even what it is. And Stella's like, well, it is a pocket watch chain. You know, your pocket watch that you're so obsessed with. This is a chain for it. And he's like, oh, because he was thinking it was like a necklace or something. I think that part would like tick me off, that he was not excited. Like, it's okay to not know what it is until it's explained. If you don't know, you don't know. But to not be excited about it, like he was not even moved by it. I would have been a little upset about that. Like, that would have burnt me up just a tad bit, because what do you mean that you're not excited? Like, why aren't you excited? This would have been a big deal to me. She proceeds on saying like, okay, well, you know, where's my gift? And he's excited. So he goes back to the kitchen to go and get her gift. He goes to the kitchen to get her gift, and she smells something burnt in the air. She didn't really pay it any attention. But he brings out a burnt pan of brownies. You heard me. A burnt pan of brownies. And I'm thinking to myself, while hearing this, what? Oh, I don't know where we were going with this. Like, okay, so this was the whole mix up. He made it seem as though through the text that this was going to be like a phenomenal gift exchange. He was so excited about it. Was he like trying to manipulate her into getting him a good gift or something? Like, what's up with that? Because you made it a big deal. Well, I mean, See, I go through so many thoughts about this because it could have just been that he was just excited for it to be a gift exchange because it was their first Christmas and he just was excited about it. Well, she just had the whole wrong concept in her head. And I always say that you can screw up a text like with words if you are not. I've done it. I've done it. So I don't know. Her thoughts were totally different than his. And wow. So he was excited about these brownies. So he was, excited. I know you want the corners and everything. Let me go and get you a fork so you can, or find a knife so we can cut into it so you can eat, some of the brownies. And she's thinking to herself, okay, this is a joke. And I'm just going to wait for him to bring out the real gift. And so she was still excited. He comes back out with the pan of brownies and a knife to give her some. She's like, I can't believe this. She takes off her hood and he's like, oh my goodness, what happened to your hair? And she's thinking to herself, well, I cut all my hair off so I can get you a nice gift for Christmas because I didn't have any money. And he was like, well, why would you do that? Why would you cut off your hair? And so he was just talking. She was like, I wish he would just stop talking. And maybe a knife could make him stop talking. And I was like, what? Okay. So she's like, maybe a knife would just shut him up, just like stop him from talking. So it goes silent. What? And then it cuts to Helga telling her side of the story. So basically, Helga goes into storytelling details that her granddaughter meets a guy that she's in college with. And they're dating or whatever, and they sleep together, and now the granddaughter's pregnant. So Helga's thinking, well, if he gets my granddaughter pregnant, he's going to take care of my grandchild. So Helga proceeds to find out who this woman is. She stakes out their apartment and she finds out where Stella works. So that's how she ended up at the restaurant. And she proceeded to persuade Stella back to the antique shop. She said it wasn't hard to persuade her to cut off her hair. And Stella felt that that's what made Stella beautiful was her hair. So Helga felt like if she took away Stella's hair, she would no longer have power. So that's what she did. And without that power, she couldn't keep her husband. She proceeded to cut her hair off and use it as a wig so she can give it to her granddaughter. So then we cut to another scene. So Stella ends up at the antique shop. So Stella's like, I would like to exchange this pocket watch and chain for a wig because we all know Stella doesn't, have any money. So she wanted to exchange the pocket watch and chain for a wig. And so Helga immediately sees the red stain on the pocket watch and Stella begins to answer the question of, oh, well, don't pay that any mind. That's just ketchup. And she exchanged the pocket watch and chain for a wig. And she leaves out of the antique store. She's like, there's lots to do because, of course, it's Christmas. There's a lot to do. So she's chipper. She's in a good, upbeat mood. And she leaves the antique shop. And Helga had a sinking feeling like, okay, she took back her power. She got her wig and she's on her way. But this does not look good for her granddaughter. Her granddaughter, it's not going to have a good outcome from this. So her granddaughter calls her and the granddaughter tells her, well, I got some good news. The guy that I was telling you about, he's leaving his wife today. And he's going to tell her everything. He wants to be with me and the baby and that he's leaving her. Helga lets her talk and things like that. And she closed down the shop and she says that she'll let her granddaughter live in the moment for right now, but soon she will find out the truth and that her grandchild would have to grow up without a father. And she tells this story about she thought that was the one thing to take away the woman's power through her hair, but she gained it back, her power really quickly after it was all said and done. So I guess that was the moral behind the story. I definitely like the book a lot. I would not give it 5 stars per se. I would give it 4.5 stars only because I feel like the transition was a little wonky, but it gave me exactly what I wanted. I love thrillers. And to have this be a holiday thriller, I absolutely love this book, The Gift. It was really good. The way that it ended as well, like it was like boom. I wanted so much more from this. Just felt like it could have been extended, but it did get right down to the point. So if you're looking for something as a quick read, like this was a quick read, this book will be perfect. I couldn't ask for more. It was right to the point. It got my Christmas fix in, it got my thriller fix in, and I absolutely loved it. So if you're looking for a quick read during this holiday season, definitely check out The Gift by Frieda McFadden. It was awesome. Like, I would definitely read it again if I just need a quick fix again. I would definitely read it again. It was perfect. I hope to see you on the next video where we will have our next book discussion. Until the next video, I'll see you then. Bye.